From Foulball15, at Foulball15. I hear so much draft analysis that emphasizes NHL team or prospect pool need. Given how few prospects make it and how much NHL teams change season over season, do you think it's a fool's errand trying to draft for need? Not necessarily, because I think that when a team builds their board, they're thinking best player available, but they're also thinking about what is the fit. So team need is another way of saying fit sometimes, because teams are trying to build a roster. If you only draft centers, you're probably going to end up with a few wings in there. You're probably going to end up with a few things, but if you only draft one thing, you're probably missing some opportunities to help build your roster. So you look at the Buffalo Sabres, for example. They have so many left shot defensemen. They have needs throughout their system, but really you think about center, you think about right shot D, that just allows them to bring some balance. I think when you're picking higher in the draft, you can be pickier. You're right that most players aren't going to matriculate for a few years. And I think as you get further down the board, you just simply go straight off your list, but your list is made with what you need in mind. I think that's a really important thing to understand. Teams aren't making these lists in a vacuum. They are not saying this is the best player. They're saying this is the best player that fits what we do. This is the best player that fits what we need. This is the best player. So they're having those conversations. Some teams will even build kind of different lists where they kind of look at that need-based stuff. They look at the top, what is the value? How much more value are we going to generate with this player playing this position than this player playing that position? So there's a lot of different factors that go into it. So the thing is like best player available. We're not just, teams are not just picking off of the Bob McKenzie list that's coming out this week. They're looking at it as a piece of information, but Bob's or mine or Corey Pronman's or Elite Prospects or whatever site you check your prospect stuff out are. What I've learned over the years is that my best player available does not match whoever is picking. And so there's really no way to know for sure if that player is really the best player available or if it was just the best player for that team. And I think in more cases than not, it's the latter. It's not just these decisions aren't made in a vacuum. So they have to build a team out. And some teams are less adherent to that than others, but I think that most teams feel that in order to build with balance, they have to make those decisions. So good question. I think it's often the big debate. Best player available, everybody's definition of that is different. So it's something to keep in mind.